The forest was quiet. Snow fell softly. A wolf named Zephyr shivered. He was hungry, very hungry. Zephyr had not eaten in days. His stomach growled. He needed food to survive. He searched for prey. Days turned into nights. Zephyr found nothing. He grew weaker. Despair started to set in. But Zephyr refused to give up. He had to keep going. He had to find food. He had to survive. One day, Zephyr smelled something. A faint, delicious smell. It was the smell of rabbit. He followed the scent. The smell led him to a burrow. A rabbit hopped out. Zephyr's heart raced. He felt a surge of energy. He crouched low to the ground. He focused on the rabbit. This was his chance. He had to be quick. Zephyr knew he had to be patient. He waited for the right moment. He would not let this opportunity slip away. The rabbit hopped closer. Zephyr did not move. He waited. His muscles tensed with anticipation. The rabbit came closer still. It was so close. Zephyr could almost taste it. But he had to wait. He knew that if he moved too soon, he would scare the rabbit away. He had to be patient. Just a little longer. The wait was agonizing, but Zephyr held his ground. He knew that patience was his greatest weapon. Suddenly the rabbit leaped into the air. It had sprung a trap. A wire snare caught its leg. The rabbit struggled to get free. Zephyr watched. He knew this was his chance, but he also sensed danger. He saw a strange scent near the trap. It was the scent of humans. They were nearby. He had to be careful. Zephyr knew he had to be patient. He couldn't risk being seen by the humans. He had to wait for the right moment. Section 5. A Moment of Truth. The hunter approached the trapped rabbit. He was close now. Zephyr held his breath. He had to act fast. This was his chance. He could steal the rabbit from the hunter, but he had to be quick and silent. Zephyr waited until the hunter was almost upon the rabbit. Then, he pounced. He moved like lightning. The hunter was caught off guard. He had no time to react. Zephyr snatched the rabbit and disappeared into the trees. Section 6. Freedom's Embrace. He ran and ran. The forest was a blur around him, trees and bushes melding into a green haze as he sprinted with all his might. His heart pounded in his chest, each beat a reminder of the life he was fighting to preserve. The scent of pine and earth filled his nostrils, grounding him in the present moment. He could hear the distant calls of birds, the rustling of leaves, and the occasional snap of a twig underfoot. But he didn't stop. He couldn't stop. Not yet. He didn't stop until he was far away from the hunter. Only then did he allow himself to slow down, his legs trembling from the exertion. He found a quiet spot in the woods, a small clearing where the sunlight filtered through the canopy above, casting dappled shadows on the forest floor. Here, he could rest. Here, he was safe. He lay down, his body sinking into the soft earth, and closed his eyes. The tension in his muscles began to ease, and his breathing slowed. He had made it. He had escaped. He found a secluded spot and finally ate. The rabbit was delicious. It had been a while since he had tasted such a meal, and he savored every bite. The meat was tender and juicy, a reward for his perseverance. As he ate, he felt his strength returning, his energy replenishing. The forest provided for those who knew how to survive, and he was a master of survival. Each mouthful was a testament to his resilience, a reminder that he could endure whatever challenges came his way. Zephyr felt his strength returning. With each passing moment, he felt more alive, more connected to the world around him. The forest was his home, and he was a part of it. He stood tall, his eyes scanning the surroundings, taking in every detail, the rustling leaves, the chirping birds, the distant sound of a stream. All of it was a symphony of life, a reminder of the beauty and complexity of nature. He was not just surviving, he was thriving. He had survived another day. He had been patient. Patience was a virtue that had served him well, a skill honed through countless trials and tribulations. It was not just about waiting, it was about understanding the rhythms of the forest, the patterns of life that dictated when to move and when to stay still. He had learned to listen, to observe, to be in tune with his surroundings, and because of that, he had survived. He had thrived. He had waited for the right moment. Timing was everything in the wild. A split second could mean the difference between life and death. Zephyr had learned this lesson well. He knew when to strike and when to retreat, when to be bold and when to be cautious. It was a delicate balance, a dance with nature that required both instinct and intelligence. And he had mastered it. He watched carefully from his hiding place, his eyes sharp and focused, always ready for whatever came next. And because of his patience, he had been successful. His hunts were precise, his movements calculated. He knew the habits of his prey, their weaknesses, and their strengths. He had studied them, learned from them, and used that knowledge to his advantage. Each successful hunt was a testament to his skill, a confirmation of his place in the natural order. He was a predator, a hunter, and he excelled in his role. His patience had paid off, and he reaped the rewards. He had learned a valuable lesson. Life in the wild was not just about strength or speed, it was about wisdom. It was about understanding the world around you, knowing when to act and when to wait. Zephyr had learned this through experience, through trial and error. He had made mistakes, but he had also learned from them. Each lesson had made him stronger, more resilient, more capable. He reflected on these lessons, understanding that they were the key to his survival. Zephyr knew that patience wasn't just about waiting, it was about being ready. It was about being prepared for the moment when opportunity presented itself. He had learned to be patient, but he had also learned to be vigilant. He watched and waited, always alert, always ready. He knew that the forest was full of surprises, and he had to be prepared for anything. His patience was not passive, it was active, a constant state of readiness. It was about waiting for the right moment, and then seizing it. When the time came, Zephyr was ready. He leaped into action, his movements swift and precise. He seized his prey with confidence, knowing that he had done everything right. It was a moment of triumph, a culmination of all his patience and preparation. He had waited, he had watched, and when the moment came, he had acted. And in that moment, he felt truly alive, truly free. Freedom's embrace was not just about escaping, it was about living fully, embracing every moment and seizing every opportunity. Section 7. The Value of Patience. As he finished his meal, Zephyr felt a sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the food, gratitude for his patience. He had waited for hours, hidden in the underbrush, his senses keenly attuned to the movements of his prey. The forest was a place of constant motion, a symphony of life and death, and Zephyr had learned to navigate it with a calm heart and a steady mind. Each successful hunt was a testament to his ability to remain still, to observe, and to act only when the moment was right. He realized that patience was not a weakness, it was a strength. In a world that often demanded immediate action and quick results, Zephyr understood the value of waiting. He knew that rushing could lead to mistakes, to missed opportunities. Patience allowed him to see the bigger picture, to understand the intricate dance of the forest's inhabitants. It was a lesson he had learned through countless trials, through moments of hunger and moments of plenty. It allowed him to endure hardship and achieve his goals. The forest was not always kind. There were days when the prey was scarce, when the weather turned harsh, and the nights grew cold. But Zephyr's patience gave him the resilience to push through these challenges. He knew that every hardship was temporary, that perseverance would eventually lead to success. His journey through the rugged terrain, across rivers and up rocky hills was a testament to his unwavering spirit. Zephyr knew that there would be more challenges ahead, but he was ready. He had faced adversity before and had come out stronger each time. The horizon held unknown trials, but also the promise of new opportunities. With each step, he carried the lessons of his past, the strength of his patience, and the knowledge that he could overcome whatever lay ahead. The future was uncertain, but Zephyr's resolve was unwavering. He had learned the power of patience. It was a quiet strength, one that did not boast or seek attention. It was the ability to remain calm in the face of chaos, to find peace in moments of stillness. As Zephyr rested, he reflected on the journey that had brought him here. Each moment of waiting, each decision to hold back until the time was right, had shaped him into the wolf he was today. Patience had become his greatest ally. He would face them with the same courage and determination. The forest was ever-changing, and Zephyr knew that he had to adapt to survive. But with patience as his guide, he felt a sense of confidence. He moved with purpose, each stride a testament to his inner strength. The challenges ahead were not to be feared, but to be met with the same calm resolve that had carried him through so many trials before. He would wait for the right moment. In the stillness of the forest, Zephyr found clarity. He knew that every action had its time, that patience was the key to success. As he crouched in the underbrush, his eyes keenly observing his surroundings, he felt a deep sense of peace. The world moved at its own pace, and Zephyr had learned to move with it, to wait for the perfect moment to act. And then, he would strike. With a burst of energy, Zephyr would launch into action, his movements precise and powerful. The culmination of his patience was a moment of pure focus and determination. In that instant, all the waiting, all the observing would pay off. Zephyr's patience was not just a passive state, but an active preparation for the moment when he would seize his opportunity and achieve his goal. Section 8. The Wise Wolf. From that day forward, Zephyr was known throughout the forest as a wise and patient wolf. His reputation spread far and wide, reaching even the most distant corners of the wilderness. Animals of all kinds began to seek his counsel, hoping to learn from his experiences and gain insight into their own lives. Zephyr welcomed them all, offering his wisdom freely and without judgment. He had learned a valuable lesson. The trials and tribulations he had faced had shaped him into a leader who understood the importance of patience and perseverance. He often reflected on his journey, contemplating the moments that had defined his character and the choices that had led him to where he was now. He shared his wisdom with the other wolves. Gathered around him, they listened intently as he recounted tales of his adventures and the lessons he had learned along the way. Zephyr's stories were not just about survival, but about the deeper understanding of life and the interconnectedness of all living beings in the forest. He taught them the importance of patience. In hunting, in decision-making, and in their interactions with one another, patience became a cornerstone of their way of life. Zephyr demonstrated this through his actions, showing the younger wolves how to wait for the right moment, how to observe and understand their surroundings before making a move. He showed them that it was a key to success. Whether it was waiting by the riverbank for the perfect opportunity to catch prey, or taking the time to understand the dynamics within the pack, Zephyr's teachings emphasized that patience often led to the best outcomes. His success stories became legendary, inspiring the younger wolves to follow in his footsteps. The other wolves listened to Zephyr. They respected him. His calm demeanor and thoughtful approach earned him the admiration of the entire pack. They knew that his advice was grounded in real experiences, and that he had their best interests at heart. Zephyr's leadership was not about dominance, but about guiding and nurturing the pack. They knew that he spoke from experience. The scars on his face were a testament to the battles he had fought and the challenges he had overcome. Each mark told a story, and Zephyr wore them with pride, knowing that they were symbols of his resilience and wisdom. The pack saw these scars as badges of honor, further solidifying their trust in his guidance. They learned from his example. Zephyr's actions spoke louder than words. The younger wolves watched him closely, mimicking his behavior and adopting his strategies. They saw how he navigated the forest with confidence, how he interacted with other animals with respect, and how he approached challenges with a calm and measured mindset. Through his example, they learned the true essence of wisdom and patience. And so, the legend of Zephyr, the wise and patient wolf, was passed down through generations of wolves. His teachings became an integral part of the pack's culture, shaping the way they lived and interacted with the world around them. Zephyr's legacy endured, a beacon of wisdom and patience that continued to guide the wolves of the forest for many years to come. Section 9. Patience, the key to success. Zephyr's story is a reminder to us all. Patience is not just about waiting. It is about perseverance, timing, and seizing the right moment. When we are patient, we can overcome challenges. We can achieve our goals. We can live fulfilling lives, just like Zephyr. Remember the wolf's secret. Embrace patience, for it is not just a virtue, it is the key to success.